Good evening. Round of the Colonial Invitational for 2018, the inaugural season of the Tenacious Golf Tour here on the Tabletop Baseball Plus channel. The Plus is where we're getting this, and I can never seem to win when it comes to bandwidth. I probably look like a garbled mess here, but it's okay. For some reason, it seems to be the way it is. So we've got 76, I don't know, somewhere. So I did my entries for my spreadsheet, and somehow I ended up with 76 rather than 77. So somebody must have signed a wrong scorecard or something, you know. You know how it goes. Somebody called in from home saying that, they fluffed their lie or something, or, grounded their club just barely in the sand trap or whatever. So, you know how it goes. So I'm not sure who it was that's the culprit here. But we'll play it out. So I'll tell you what, I'm really upset that the bandwidth is pretty bad here, but I don't know what else I can do. Maybe one thing I can do is move this. But I don't know if that has any indication at all. Hi, Mr. Moley. I don't know if... I just don't know. I'm not sure. I'd love to get a better... Well, first off, I'd like to get a webcam and a PC in this room, maybe, that I could hardwire, and so then there should be much less chance of variability in the bandwidth, whatever. I was going to say baud rate, but I think that's a thing of the distant past in terms of technology. All right, so we're going to get to the third round here. I'm going to put this camera up where it belongs, and we will get going. So be right back. All right, well, let's see what we can do here. Trying to get as many of these cards in view as possible, and also make sure that my camera doesn't tumble to its demise. Still don't know if that's going to do it. It seems like it's wedged in there pretty well, so guess we'll find out in about a minute and a half, probably. All right, so we've done this before. Let's see. How does this look when I do this? That's not too bad. How about that? Okay, so all working well. Okay, well, if the bandwidth isn't affecting you, then the bandwidth isn't affecting me. Because I see this in crystal clear 4K, even better, even given my eyesight issues. So we need to make 7 piles here, and then we will figure out who is going to comprise the leaderboard going into the final round. So I'm going to shuffle these cards up. These cards I did not do anything with since last night. I take the cut cards and I enter those into my spreadsheet. So everybody that does not get the cut designation gets the advanced designation. And then I have a little pull down menu that I set from cut. So I have pre-tournament, that's where I add all of my qualifiers. I then go to I go to cut, which is where I can set everybody who has missed the cut. And then after that, I go to final, and that's where I can enter in all of the grades that you see here, except for these, which I then do after the tournament. These up here, the guys that I play in the final pairings, I enter their score manually. The rest are calculated based on the play system. I devised a spreadsheet that will calculate all that for me, which is nice. Saves me a little bit of time. So I know there's some other spreadsheets. You might want to check those out that are out there. I tend to, because mine has those customized spreadsheets where the things are calculated, I'd rather not hand them out because it's basically proprietary information. It's it's a product sold by Play, and thus potentially someone who had that and got their hands on a PDF could, and you don't want to give someone the opportunity to be able to play the game without actually buying the game. That's my goal. And it should be everybody else's too. I mean, we want to support Keith. He has made a vast number of games, and he's not the only manufacturer out there. But this is the golf game I have, and this is what I sort of have Now I am getting, and again, this is also a Play game. I am getting my second season plans together, so stay tuned for that. That will be happening probably within the next week or so. I'll start rolling that out. I have to figure out how I'm going to select the teams, but kind of have some ideas. So we're going to make 8 piles here, but only 7 of them are going to remain, as we're going to take, I'm going to take I think this is the smallest of the piles. I'm going to take the smallest one, I'm going to divvy it up between the rest as best I can. So this one looks a little smaller. This one might too. So let's... Alright, so we're going to have 7 piles that are from the Made the Cut group. You can see my Kindle just in the very bottom left corner. So there we go. We've got 7. And what I want to do is I want to tilt this a little bit more, so that way you can also see down. Oh, you see something? This looks a little weird. Okay, so I want to get you the bottom of the camera here, so that way I can. All right, I'm gonna have to. This is gonna bug me, so I've got to kind of reposition this. See, technical difficulties. Okay, that's a little better now. Let me swing this a little bit this way. Okay, and tilt. Okay, I think we're in good shape. So what are we going to do here? Just like the cut, we roll 2 dice, 2 d6s, your normal average garden variety d6 dice that you use in Monopoly, or, I mean, they're white and black and white here, but it doesn't really make a whole lot of difference. I could use these 2. Maybe next time I will. We have a D20, which is kind of a Dungeons and Dragons sort of. And I want to turn my light here just a little bit so you can see it a little better. And we have what I kind of like to call this the D2. It's a D6, but it only has 2 options. It has yes or no. So from now on, I'd like to call this yes and this no. I mean, it's kind of like you could call it a digital die as well. That's an on or off, but basically what it is it's a yes or no kind of situation. So What we have in this game a lot of times are half qualities. And so you roll a die, and half the time it's yes, half the time it's no. One at this die here. But we've seen that before in our tournaments. But in this case, what we do is we also give a 50-50 shot at some, if there's ties when it comes to like top golfers. You have a 50-50 shot of actually getting the designation that this chart here would entitle you to. So let's take a look at this chart real quick. I think I've explained it before, but we roll these two six-sided dice. Let me see. Can I get this any more into the frame? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, you would read that 12. If we rolled it like this, you'd still read it 12. But it's sequentially from lowest to highest. And then you go to that chart there that you see on your screen, and you see under 12, it says the top golfer. So let's take this pile number 8 right here. There's only 2 cards in it. This is the outstanding golfers. They get their own pile. 2A is better than 5C. So that's so Rance Aberley is the top golfer between these two. 1 is better than 2, is better than 3, is better than 4, better than 5, better than 6. And A is better than B, is better than C, but the number kind of outranks the letter. So a 2A is better than a 2C. A 1C is better than a 2A. So, and that's how we do it. So then the second part of that is everybody else finishes with a B minus. And so that's where we get these over to this side. If you recall looking, there are cards, and we put that are like the letter designations, and we put the cards that that don't make it over on those, and we will try and line up the cards that have become leaders underneath the star, A, and A minus. So the main contenders. Okay, so pile 1, which is this guy right here. We're going to roll, and we will see what happens. Oh, yes, and one last thing. You see those little kind of neon-looking lightning bolt with a... see those little lightning bolts with a little triangle around it? That is the tourney perks and issues. Let me try and get this reset. There we go. That is for tourney perks and issues. So we have a separate roll we will do before we conclude this broadcast. And that gives certain players certain attributes or takes certain attributes away. And so we'll talk more about that when we get there. So let's roll the first 2 dice for pile number 1. And it's 55. And as you can see here, 55. All golfers contend with B. So nobody's going to end up in the top slot from this. And let's see who's all in it. Let's zoom out a bit. So you're going to see Parker Melton, Luke Henneman, Myung Cho, Jeffrey Hahn, Carol Davis, C.J. Hope, Celestino Garcia, Don Slattery, and Dustin Jimenez. Not a ton of big names, but some of these guys could either end up in the final pairings if we don't have enough. Could also be an emerging contender if the leaders don't really get far enough. So none out of that. And I want to write this down. Actually, I don't need to write that down. So everybody contends with B. So that's kind of a rough one for that group. So we got 7 piles left, and we're going to re-roll. There'll be 33. And as you can see, the top golfer will contend with an A. So only one's going to, and you're going to get a tourney perk and issue. So let's widen it out. So Almeida, 5A, he's probably not going to last. Adam Trenchard, so Almeida's not there. Dalton Solomon, not there. Martin Van Dyke, no more Adam Trenchard. He'll finish with C. Correct? Yes. Heath Sommers knocks Van Dyke out. So there's a big name, Van Dyke. Jae Gun Woo, nope. Kaisen Roca, no. Tyler Gentry, no. Gooch Wilborg, no. Last card, who is it? Augie Kammerman, no. So it'll be Heath Sommers, who will be a top that will contend with A. Going to write him in my book here because he gets a perk or an issue. We will put him right here. Okie dokie. That sounds so childish, doesn't it? All right. So roll for pile number 3. It's going to be 34. And so the top golfer. So we get another top golfer. It's going to be pretty much a top-ended thing here. So it's going to be an A- top golfer. Then the low golfer will finish with D-, and then everybody else will contend with B+. So that B+ pile is growing as we speak. And so let's start, and we'll just do it the same way we did before. Tord Thorson, a 4C. We know he's not going to get there, but let's see. Jimmy Kimes will knock him off. Who's next? Duncan Kramer. Justin Wallace, he knocks Jimmy Kimes off of the tower. Evan Aldrich will tie. Also, Duncan Kramer is currently the holder of the low golfer and will end up in D- unless we get a 5C here somewhere. Shinji Kanishi, bad beat there for him. Ji Woon Ko. Ozzy Valenti. Nishiki Kawahara. And Boyd Yeager. So these guys at 34 are going to contend with B+. We're going to put them in this pile. Duncan Kramer, D-. And now we use the decider die. Evan Aldrich will be first. Actually, we'll do Justin Wallace first since he was the first one off. So decider die means he goes into A-. If it's yes, if it's no, he goes onto that B+ pile. So Justin Wallace will get the B+, and now Evan Aldrich, he'll be yes. So he will be a contender tomorrow. All right, so back to work with the rolling of the D6s. Be nice to get one that has a couple to carry in. 46. So a draw golfer contends with A, and then we get another low golfer goes to D-. Others finish with D. So let's zoom out. Draw golfer contends with A-. So we use the D20 for this. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Wow. Let's see if I can move this over at all. Okay. 11. So we're going to use this D20. It needs to be under 11 for this roll to count. If it comes up more than 11, we re-roll. And so one of these guys is going to be at A- along with Evan Aldrich. 13. No, won't work. Here, let's zoom her in here. 3. So we go to this one here, 3, and it will be Dave Simanowicz Jr. So he's a 3B, and now let's uncover those that will be in. We'll finish with D. It'll be Todd Ahrens, Gail Honorado, Jeremiah James. So Gail Honorado, 2A. Chico Fonseca, Braden LaSalle Jr., Soren Overgaard, Dustin Emmerich. He has been a bit snake-bitten. There's Ray Tuminello, Carlos Solari, Enrique Magallanes. All right, so we're going to have some big names that are... All right, so we got to figure out who the low golfer is. Is it Tuminello? It might be. Nope. Soren Overgaard, probably, unless there's a 5-8 kicking around here? No, there isn't. So Soren Overgaard is going to join Duncan Kramer in the D minus. Those guys end up at D? Yes, D. Okay, so we're halfway through these D6 rolls. And pile number 4 is going to go through 26. Draw golfer contends with A minus. That'll be another draw golfer. Others will finish with B minus. So another one where a top golfer is not going to make it through. So we're getting some. We're going to get some, maybe some randomness here in this final round. Of course, we got a lot of guys there at B plus, and we're going to take a couple in. So we just have to decide how we're going to do that. And again, somewhat running out of room here. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And so again, we need to roll this. Anything greater than 11, we will re-roll, and it is a 6. So we zoom out. 5, 6. It's going to be one of my custom cards. That shape is a little off. It's going to be Mackay Berry. So that's exciting. Now let's see who all gets. Bob Demelmeyer. So Mackay Berry is a qualifier. Demelmeyer, so neither of those two guys, Joshua knew that those two guys there didn't, and Abdel Youssef as well. They don't have tour cards. John Hudspeth, Ian Robards, Newt Washburn, Trent McAdams gets a bad beat on this one. They're all going to finish with B. David Alvestad, Nate Killow. So they're going to finish at B minus. So we only have 4 guys so far. We have 3 piles left, including the outstanding pair of Rance Aberlay and Sheridan Cook Jr. So let's roll this one. 46 again. It's going to be another draw golfer. We're going to have a bunch in the A minus category. So let's get it parsed out here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 11. Give it a good shake. Let's get it real and close here. We're shaking it. And it's right on the money in 11. Who is this? Tom Sudbury. I didn't show you. I took it off the end, but I did. It was the final card. It was right here. Right over here. Tom Sudbury. So let's see. Kenneth Hahn. We've got some custom cards in here. Greer Copeland III, Trevor Nolan, Eddie Sykes, Stuart Ash, Alan Kelly, Rudy Wallace, Benicio Vazquez, Joey Manini. So we've got one more. And so where do these guys finish? They finish with D. A bunch of guys down there at D. Okay, and now this final pile right here. That's the rest of the crew. The outstanding golfers will come last. Here we go. Shaking them up. 23. Draw golfer contends with A. Others will contend with B+. So this is getting to be a rather random. So sometimes you have tournaments on the PGA Tour that become rather random in their makeup of guys. Maybe the pros just get a little either too relaxed or having an off day. And that's what's happening here. So we've got, again, 11. I did a pretty good job of cutting these this time. I think all the ones I've had to roll off have been 11. So here, this guy's going to join Heath Sommers at A, whoever it is. So let's, again, get it way up in here. We're going to roll it. And a 16, we will have to give it another whirl here. And a 20. So 15. We could be here a while, folks. So 12, that's one over. Hey, we've gotten a bunch right up there in the in the above 11 category. 10. All right, so let's zoom out before I pick it up this time. I don't want anybody accusing me. So this is 10 right here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Will Janis. Wow, he has a good chance of being tied for the lead. If you recall, he ended up being he earned his tour card with a victory earlier in the year. So let's see who's Denny Rowetter, Connor Messick, Sonny Lemons, Fabio Antonucci, Christian Canepa, Franz Hockel, Braylon Huffman, Mateo Soto, Yun Lee Song, he was the Masters winner, Zephaniah Scott. They're going to contend with B+, so they're not out of it. But we've got a lot of guys there, and we're going to have to really figure that out. So finally, we have these two guys right here. We're going to do one more roll. We currently have 6 slated for the final pairings. And we'll see which of these two guys will make it in there. 12. Top golfer contends with A+. So Rance Aberley is going to be with a 2A, will be in that A+. Sheridan Cook is going to finish with a B-. So he'll finish right there. And so that's how it stands at the moment. Now, I'm going to move these guys up into here for a minute. I'm going to move this out of the way because the target score is 266. So I need to figure out here 210. Okay, so yes. Don't you know how? Okay, so here, I had to take a little break here to help out my son. So if you look at this chart here, we know that our target score is 266. So A+ is either going to be, since a 3-round score at a par 70 is 210, it's either going to be -13 or -12 when we roll the decider die. So let's get this out here. We're going to roll the decider die for Rance Aberley, and that will kind of get the ball rolling here, so to speak. If it's a yes, he'll be at -13. No, a -12. It's a no, so he'll be at -12. So we can put -13 back for now. Probably when we go to the tournament, we'll need to, because 266 is that's a -14. So so let's see. We can get rid of A+ now. We're gonna move this over a little bit. If you can still see it, you can, great. And then -11 will be here. I'm going to try and do right here. That's good. All right, so you can still see the A's and the A minuses. And let's kind of push this guy around like this, so that way I can take full advantage of the space that I don't have. All right, so it's going to first be Heath Sommers. I like to go chronological. So -11 with a dot. That's a yes. A no is -10. He'll be yes. So Sommers. And now Janice. He will be also a yes at -11. So we can get rid of this one. And now we can do -9 and -8 for the A minuses. So Evan Aldrich first. Yes, -9. No, -8. So a no. Pull these guys down here. Dave Simanowicz Jr. Yes. We've seen him in a final. Mackay Berry. He's a formidable challenge here. Legend and a king with the wood. Good with the woods, but his irons are abysmal. So he's going to be a yes. And Tom Sudbury, he's a no. So, okay, let's adjust this a little bit more. Now we got to get rid of this. And we're going to have to roll quite a few here. And so this is B+. And so this could take a little while. We're going to have to roll off. And we don't have any B's, so I can just put this over here too. So -7 and -6. And what we're going to do is the -7s will, because we've got, what do we have, 7 there? So we need 5. And what we're going to do is we're going to take the ones with the top tournament ratings. Well, we'll see. We'll see how this works out. So Zephaniah Scott will be first, and he's a no. Yun Lee, if it's a no, I'm just going to put it in -6 on a pile. Yun Lee Song, he is a yes. Mateo Soto, no. Braylon Huffman, he's a yes, but he's probably not. We'll see. Franz Hockel, yes. Christian Canepa, yes. Fabio Antonucci, yes. Sonny Lemons, yes. The old decide or die is feeling generous today. Connor Messick, wow. Rowetter. Wow, I don't know if I could roll this many in a row. I'm shaking it up, I swear. Justin Wallace. Boyd Yeager, maybe I just need to do a little shorter. There we go. All right, now we should get about 5 or 6 no's in a row. Nishiki Kawahara. Now we're getting another yes. So look at how many guys we're going to have to thin out. Ozzy Valenti. Yes, I'm running out of room. Ji-Woon Ko. There's another yes. We'll put him right here. Shinji Kanishi. No, he got a bad bounce there. Tord Thorson. Another yes. Jimmy Kimes. Yes. Parker Melton. Yes. Luke Henneman. Boy, my yes rolling here is 14, 15, 16, 17. We've had an 85% yes rate here. So Foshi, that keeps going up. Jeffrey Hahn. Oh my word. Carol Davis. You've got to be kidding me. CJ Hope. Celestino Garcia. Dustin Jimenez. Oh my word. Don Slattery. How about one more? Oh. That is supposed to be a 50-50 chance. And look at the yeses compared to the no's. Oh my word. How it happened here. All right. Well, these guys are out. Well, they're going to go in. They're going to stay in the B+ pile. Okay. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to keep. Oh, yeah. Have a good one, Strat Delaware. All right. So what are we going to do now? Oh boy, I'm drawing a blank. We need 5 out of 22. 5 out of 22. Well, I'm gonna do what we do best. It's not working out, so we're gonna do it my way, and I think it's a pretty fair way. We're gonna make 5 piles here, and we're gonna roll the decider die. If it's a yes, we draw. If it's a no, we take top out of each pile, and they're gonna be in -7. So that's how we'll do it. I will say, out of tournament mode, one of the more frustrating things is I feel like there are too many times that you get like a stack this thick at B+ or B, and you don't get enough up in here, so then you end up having to figure out, like we're doing here, figuring out how to thin them out, and there's not a whole lot of guidance. So I think this is probably a fair way to do it. It's somewhat similar to what goes on with this other chart, but all right, so we're going to cut into 2. Actually, let's cut into 3. Try to get 3 relatively, it's not going to do it. Tell you what, let's redo it here. Let's go back to the beginning, because I wasn't using my head so much here. Okay, so let's try to get 3. 1, 2, 3, and it's still not there. Well, let's cut this one, cut this one, cut this one. You get this few. I should have probably just done. I have an idea. Let's go back to card playing 101 here. Okay, we're gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then what we're gonna do is we should have 2 extra here, I believe, and I'm gonna put them at either end, so that way it's. Oh, I was wrong. All right, there we go. So middle ones are going to have 4. The end ones are going to have 5. Okay. So let's tighten these up a little bit. Okay. So the first pile, yes, we draw. No, we take the top. And of course we get a no this time. So we take the top, and it's going to be 3A, Jimmy Kimes will be at -7. The rest are going to go onto the B+ pile. Double check, yes. Okay. So the next one. Okay, it's going to be a draw. And we've got 5. And we're going to roll off the old D20 here. And it's a 13. So 10, 11, 12, 13... Ji-Woon Ko, and who's missing out? Canepa, Valente, Messick, Luke Henneman. No real big names there. Now what? All right. The third pile is going to be top, and it's going to be a tie between Wallace and Cho. So we'll put those 2 guys there. We're now going to do another one of these, so whichever one comes. Hi, Beatles. I'm glad you are getting something out of this, Beatles. So Wallace. So what we'll do is we're going to go yes. Whenever we get a yes, no, whoever gets the yes, when there's a yes, no in this 2 double choice, that will be what we stick with. So Wallace first, a no. Myung Cho, a yes. Cho, it will be. Wallace. by the wayside. So now this pile here, again, yes is draw, no is top. It'll be yes, so we're going to draw, and there should be 4, and I drop this guy. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, it'll be the first one, and it'll be Carol Davis, who's missing out here. Yun Lee Song, he has a bad break. Celestino Garcia, Steve Foshi. And now, it's stuck. Well, it was top. We're taking top. So let's take a look. 2B. Sunny Lemons is 2B. The rest are not. So that will be our -7s. Not the cleanest way to do it, but it will suffice. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, good. So now let's I'm going to tilt this up a little bit. Zoom it in a little bit. We're going to fill in the so let's tilt this up a little bit too. So let's actually, before I do anything else, I'm going to take the cards that are over on this side, and I'm going to organize them so that I don't botch it, because I'd hate to like have a mistake and spill them or worse. So let's clean up here. So you just do the best you can here. It's sometimes it works out more cleanly than others. This was kind of a this one was a little bit of a you're going to have some that don't work out so well, and then you're going to have others that work out just perfect. And so you can't let yourself get down about that. You just have to kind of do the best you can. There are some blanks that can be filled in, and you can use your head and kind of fill in those blanks to help get things together. So, because I wanted to put this up here, and this is where I can fill this out. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to use threesomes. I just checked before I came on the air, and this is based off of last year's Dean and DeLuca Invitational at the course that Texas Provincial is modeled after. So what we're going to do is this is what we'll do first. We're going to set up the leaderboard. So first place is going to be Rance Aberley. And his total is, 198. And, there you are. Anal. I like to have as neat handwriting as I can get. So there. So now it tied for second. Heath Sommers and Will Janis. So we'll see if Will Janis could win his second tournament of the year. They're at 199. Tied for fourth will be Dave Smanowitz. They're at 201, 3 back, and Mackay Berry. Tell you what, that utility on his irons, that's pretty tough. I had him in a final round in the slacker, and he just bottomed out pretty quickly. So tied for sixth is going to be Evan Aldrich. And they are at 202, 4 behind, and that'll be Tom Sudbury. And I like to do this when it goes to the next column. Actually, I'm not showing you the whole thing. That's kind of dumb, eh? 202 and the 4 back, and then tied for 8th. It's going to be this Jimmy Kimes group. 203 and they're 5 back. And it's going to be J.W. Coe, Myung Cho. Carroll Davis, haven't seen much of him. He's a lower seeded guy. And Sonny Lemons is a guy who qualified for this tournament. So at this point, what I can do is I can kind of swing this down. You can see the... I'm going to do a little bit of this too. And so what we're going to do is we're going to set up the pairings. Well, the groupings. There are going to be 3. So we go in reverse order. So it's going to be Myung Cho will be first, Carroll Davis, and Sonny Lemons. So, and then we take the next 3. It's going to be Tom Sudbury, Jimmy Kimes, and Jae Woon Ko. And then it's going to be Dave Simanowicz Jr., Mackay Berry, and Evan Aldrich. And then finally, it'll be Rance Aberley who has the lead. And Heath Sommers, he's got to be a favorite in the final round. And Will Janis, we'll see who comes out on top of that. So, all right, now we have some other things that we need to do here. One thing I like to do is I use a key. I kind of took this from, I don't know, one of the guys on the play group. So this is how my scoring method is a par is a 0. And I like to write this down here on every sheet. So that way if I show you my sheet, you know what it is. So let's zoom it in here and I'll show you. A dot is a bird. That's going to be an eagle, like a bullseye. And then if we ever get to the point of a double eagle, I don't know if there are any in this game. If there are, that's going to be awesome. If there aren't, then that's fine too. Who knows? There might be one where you get a direct shot onto a par 4 in the hole, but I don't know. So then bogey is an X. X with a circle is a double bogey. X with 2 circles, obviously triple bogey. And then we've got a couple of other little designations. When we get, that's going to be sunny. That's stormy. And I haven't encountered the need for too many other. That's for mood as much as anything. But now we need to do our weather conditions and our tourney perks and issues. So we only had. Do we only have one? Let me see. 46 didn't. 66 didn't. We had a couple of. No. I think we might have only had the one. I'm going to have to go back and watch the video and be sure that I didn't ignore somebody's. But it looks like Heath Sommers, at least for the moment, is the only one who has a tourney perk or issue. So I'm going to roll first a D6. I'll roll it right here on the page. Actually, no, I won't. I'm going to turn it up here. Let's do this first. So yeah, let me just zoom it right out. Ooh. Okay. I can use my box. So I go with a white die first. You first roll 1 and it puts you into those categories, and it's going to be 4 for clubhouse. Then I'll roll the green one, and so we'll see which of those perks or issues he gets. So 4, he starts the round with so many red chips, and so now we're going to use the black one for disaster. And see how many red chips. Based on the number he gets here, 5 red chips. So Heath Sommers is going to have to shed 5 chips throughout this round. So that's stormy enough, right? Okay, and I'm going to have to do another roll if I look back at the video and find out that I missed one. But let's see. So we're in Texas. And so that is, we're going to call this Southern U.S. and it's in May. So we've got these potential rolls here. We'll roll the black and white and we'll see what comes up. Although one might argue that Dallas, Texas is closer to Central U.S. than Southern U.S., but we'll stick with Southern U.S. 15-0. So it'll be normal conditions. Okay, so that's where we will drop it off for the evening. So again, let's take a look real quick at the scoreboard. As let's see, can I move it this way a little bit? I can. Good. So we've got Rance Aberlay -12. Heath Sommers with, let's put him on there right now so I don't forget, 5 red chips. The guy is gonna be, if he can get through using those 5 chips and only drop a stroke, I think he'll be in really good shape. Of course, if he uses them right, he might be able to gain a stroke, because if you give control of the hole on a cordial hole, if you can find the course card, you can, or the course spaces, you can potentially get a birdie there. So Sommers, Janis, then Simanowitz, Mackay Berry. Yeah, there's a lot of pre-work there, Beatles. You're right, but it's fine because it's and I mean it gets to be a little bit more work when you explain it. Sometimes the rolls that I did earlier, like the first sets of rolls, it works out where you get 12 guys without having to mess around with B plus or B. But sometimes you have to do that, and when you do, you just deal. You know, you just adapt and just do what makes sense and looks consistent with what you usually do. You know, you don't want to go and say, okay, well, I'm just going to pick 3 guys and because I like them, or I'm not going to pick somebody because I don't like them. But you could, I suppose. So I have to see if I have the little nameplates for all of these guys. I think I probably have most of them. I don't know about Sunny Lemons. His logo is if you have Sunny Lemons, make Sunny Lemonade. So that's let's see. So okay. So hey Ken, glad it looks like you got back to the East Coast nice and safe and sound, and that's good. So I'm going to sign off here. We should be having this round start tomorrow evening. Try to get in a few holes, and maybe we'll wrap it up towards the weekend because it's going to be pretty dicey. You know, it takes a good 2 hours, 2.5, 3 hours to roll out one of these rounds. So I'm going to sign off. Thanks a lot for watching. I'm going to upload some of my stuff, and we'll see you soon. And be on the lookout, like I said, here. Draw a picture on an Edsel for Sunny. It's only 7 minutes. Oh, yeah. Oh, the Clinton's video. Right. Oh, you are stuck in Tulsa. Oh, boy. Well, that's I was going to say that's a shocker, but I think that's Wichita State. I don't know if they're in Tulsa or not. I don't think they are. Well, they'd be in Wichita, right? Wichita State. I forget what Tulsa is, but anyway. All right. Yeah, I need to or draw. We put draw a picture of an Edsel. Yeah, that's. I'm not really drawing much here. I did draw a little sun and some clouds, but you know, anything more than that might get dangerous. So, all right, I'm going to sign off here again. Oh, I was about to say, be on the lookout. A football project is going to be coming down the pike here in the next week or two. So I'll reveal what that's going to be about. And of course, we still have a playoff run for 2008 Phillies, as well as the other teams that made the playoffs. Been kind of letting that ferment a little bit, and hopefully makes me very schnookered by the time we get ready to go. So signing off here. Have some good times, whether you're rolling or whether you're stuck in a hotel waiting for weather to clear out of an area. Have a good one, and we'll see you soon. Thanks a lot.